and my lovely fiance, Jeannie Cuevas, coming to you from East West Healing and Performance, in East West Healing and Performance. Today we're going to go over something very quick, but what most people do wrong in the fitness industry today. And then they wonder why they have knee pain, ankle pain, and low back pain, and neck pain. Besides working on it correctly and thrashing their own body and being brainwashed by trainers, we're going to show you why it's important to keep the knee bent 15 to 20 degrees doing any type of Romanian deadlift. It's not called a stiff-legged deadlift. If anyone says stiff-legged deadlift, they're basically telling you they don't know how to work out, and I'll tell you why. As well as keeping the knee bent when you're doing a bent over row. Okay? So we'll watch Jeannie grab the bar. There's many ways to do a bent over row. We'll show you how to do it properly. Feet about shoulder width apart, sometimes wider. Pivoting from the hip, it's a bent over row. Knees are bent 15 to 20 degrees. We have a normal lordosis. Everything is neutral. Okay? Now what most people do is if she does the row, right, she starts doing a row, a lot of people will go into kyphosis when they do the row, which is hunching in the upper back, right, because they're weak through the shoulder. What they do is they start to straighten their knees as they pull the weight because the weight's so heavy. Okay? So if she straightens her knees like that, because the weight's heavy and they're trying to get it up. Okay? You always want to keep the knees bent when doing the bent over row. Now I'm going to have her come up. I'm going to explain why. And we're going to show you how most people do a deadlift or a Romanian deadlift. They put their feet together. We'll show you incorrectly first. Feet together, they lock their knees, and they pivot from the hips. They go all the way to the ground and come back up. What you want to do is keep the knees bent 15 to 20 degrees. That's a great way to thrash the SI joint in the low back. Create lots of shearing in the low back and the SI joint as you bend forward. The SI joint or the sacrum rolls and it drops if you do that. Okay? So we'll have her do it correctly. Knees bent 15 to 20 degrees throughout the entire movement. You're pivoting from the hips. As she comes up, you'll notice the knees stay bent the entire time. So when she comes up, so keep them bent. As you come up, straighten them and lock them. That's what you don't do. Okay? Now I'll explain why. When you do this, as you bend the knees 15 to 20 degrees, you actually activate the glutes. The glutes not only attach to the ilium and the sacrum, they actually attach 20% to the TFL, okay, which is a hip muscle, which attaches to the IT band, which crosses the knee joint. So my question for you, besides the lat attaches, the contralateral lat attaches to the opposite glute. So is the glute a back, shoulder, hip, knee, or ankle muscle? So when you bend your knees and you're doing this, you're actually activating the glutes to get that hip extensor mechanism, but also to help stabilize the pelvis, stabilize the SI joint in the low back. If you straighten your legs on any of these, guess what you do? You inhibit your glute. You shut it off. Okay? So once again, the reason you're keeping your knees bent 15 to 20 degrees, and you can do it, put your hand in your butt, lock your knees. It's nice and flabby. Bend your knees, and you feel it pop on. Bending the knees activates the glutes, right? You're doing a bent over row, you need that glute for SI joint stabilization. You need it for knee stabilization. When you're doing the bent over row, it's a hip extension, it's an extensor chain, which is all these muscles back here exercise, okay? So when you do that, keeping the knees bent, you get the glutes involved. If you don't bend your knees, you take them out. That's a great way to cause low back pain. So hopefully you've learned something from me and my beautiful fiancée, Jeannie Cuevas. And if you have any more questions, visit our website at eastwesthealing.com. Feel free to call us for a free consultation. If you call me, you'll get black and white. If you call her, you'll get love and